I started to sing at the age of 17, actually. When I decided to become an opera singer, I grew up in a musician's family. My mother is a singer, my father is a conductor. So as a child, I had to learn actually piano and music, but the stage was that fascinated me very much. Well, Latvia is my home. It's my country. You know, I present. I'm very proud of being Latvian. You know, and thanks to me, if I can say so. Thanks also to other artists like Maris Jansons, like Guido Kremer. You know, and the new conductors, you know, also singers coming up. That's a place that nearly everybody recognizes. So it's nice. I mean, I've never thought of being anybody else. And I wanted to be, as a small girl, actually an actress. And was trying to enter the exams in academy, was not accepted. So then I thought, well, maybe musicals and so on, you maybe combine a little bit of singing and so on. And it was not possible in Latvia those times, so somehow I was then on the last year in my gymnasium in a school, and I had a long talk with my parents of what I want to do with my life, and then I went to sleep, and the next day I woke up in the morning and I said I'm going to be an opera singer. I don't think that a singer can ever actually notice that point. The beginning of a big career is probably for everybody something else. You know, a big thing for the career can be a cover of a newspaper, for example. A big thing can be first recording. A big thing can be a debut in an opera. A big thing can be a debut in a festival. Or big thing can be the competition. I don't know. I really can't say it because there are so many things that has happened, and I think if one thing wouldn't have happened, wouldn't have brought me then that step further. So, you know, I let for others to decide when they noticed me and when they thought that my big career started. Because at the end, for me, you know, the reality is that every time I go on the stage, it's like for the first time.
I think that if there's one compliment I can really make about Elīna, it's the fact that she's a real musician, and I say not a real singer. I use those words very carefully. She really knows how to breathe with the orchestra, and she really knows how to make one, what you say in German, zusammen. You know, there's this, and you feel very comfortable. She's very, how do you say, you feel very safe with her. And usually it's the other way around. Singers are the ones that need to be safe with the conductors. It's not vice versa. And I have to say that it's very easy to work with her. And I think the orchestra feels that too. You know, sometimes with singers you have to be careful because it can get out of time very easily. With her you feel very much that she knows very well what she's doing. And most importantly, I really treat her like a musician.
It's nice to have dreams, and I probably wish myself to become someday very good amneris from Aida. Probably that is my goal role that I would really definitely want to land. But you know, too deep dreams, sometimes the awakeness of them can be painful. probably one of the biggest dreams is of course the debut in Vienna State Opera, which was 2003, and of course the certain participation in the competitions. I don't really point for me only one place and say that's my turning point, because every time, I'm looking forward to, because every time, you always can have somebody who has never been in opera, who's never been in a concert before that. So, every time you have some people that you have to convince, and maybe you have to create some kind of a magic. So I can really never go into routine and saying, my God, I have to go and sing tonight again, because it's exciting. I love singing. So for me, every time I can go on a stage, and every time I hear that people enjoy it, and every time that there is electricity between the stage and the audience, it's something very special for me. I'm happy that I have the possibility of being the singer. It's a good question. I mean, the most fascinating thing is probably that most people think is that the possibilities to see so many people, so many countries, so many theaters. Very often, though, the reality is that we see, train stations, airports, hotels, and venues, concert halls or theaters, and that's it. But I actually like to travel if it's not too often, and. That's to be in the movement. I think it's one of the wonderful things, because you can never get a routine. You are never bored. Yeah, the hardest thing in the job is probably the people who sometimes think they own you, and sometimes, even the fans, let's say, they get obsessed and they get, offended if you don't pay enough attention to them. It's very often that the people, be it intendants or be it, regisseurs, they just think about themselves, and it's about them, to show their power or their interest, and they don't care about singers so much. It very often happens also in a regie theater. And it's just sometimes, very hard of letting people understand that, my job is so extrovert, and I have to give so many emotions that very often I just don't have any energy to go and meet people for dinner, or to meet them for coffee, or to have some kind of receptions. So that's probably that not always you can just disappear, obligations that you have to do.